Hey guys, well, this is gonna be a review to all three films, the Batman trilogy. Mainly gonna focus on the older films because obviously people have seen those. And the newer film, I'm just gonna try to briefly talk about it and the performances and stuff like that. I do want to say that I did hear about that Colorado shooting. It was kind of, eerie that uh, people are going to to the movie theater in the summer, and some nut just decides to do a vein on people. I don't know. Some people really need to be in a mental hospital. It's just insane how this guy would do this, and it's sad, when you think about it. I mean, I wouldn't expect that. I wouldn't expect going into a movie theater and then something like that would happen. It's just a film, man. Some people have just got to realize it's just a film. It's pretend. It's fantasy. I don't I don't see how anyone can justify what they fathom in their mind to do what they did, what he did at least. Um, but it was a tragedy otherwise. I still say that it's just some crazy people out there. Don't um, don't be scared to go out to the movie theaters this summer because of it, because that's just stupid. It's just one idiot. It has to be one idiot in this world. I mean, no, not everybody's gonna be smart. Not everybody's gonna be perfect, obviously. But besides that, I don't want to make too much talk about it. It's just really sad to hear. Um, but I saw all of them together. It was a good thing that I decided to do that because I don't own all the film. I don't own any of the films at the moment. At least the last two, and I do want to get them eventually. Probably steel books because I do enjoy the trilogy very much. But if I don't get the steel book, it's fine. I might even opt for that Christopher Nolan collector's edition. Of course, from seeing all three films, I decided to kind of pick my favorite out of all of them. Um, and from all of them so far, I have to see the third one again. But from what I can tell, what they're fresh in my mind, I would say that the beginning, Batman Begins, is my favorite so far. And through all the films, um, the first one echoes more in the third one too. There's a lot of story arc. If you haven't seen the trilogy um, together before watching Dark Knight Rises, you'll kind of feel that it takes a little of the first movie's tone, and it builds off of that mainly. But everybody did a great job, of course. Heath Ledger in as the Joker, the newer Joker, was just amazing. He did a great job. Too bad he passed away. I mean, not passed away, but like he when you think about these films, the insane coincidences that happen all still made these films great and a classic in my eyes. I mean, at least for now, they're really good films. Maybe years from now I'll feel different, but from right now, pretty much everybody did great. There was a lot. Whoever was the casting director for these films, that person has to be one of the best casting directors out there now. I'm just gonna give it props to that because the casting, there was some, casting that was iffy at first, but now watching all the films to when I watched all the films together, it really, um, you have to give props to the casting director, whoever that was. I'm researching it right now, but I can't remember who it. I can't remember to look that person up. But Christopher Nolan, he did an awesome job as a director. He always does. I mean, I haven't seen one film that I really like said, "Oh man, that's garbage. That is so garbage," because I guess he just knows what to do, and knows how to develop characters. I know he was involved in the screenplay for I think all of them, and he just did. He's just a director that when you put him in the helm, he's gonna make a film that's coherent, uh, well acted, and of course well presented. And that's why I enjoy watching his films. Um, Now, Gary Oldman, Michael Caine, who else? Uh, they, of course, were more in the trilogy as main actors. There was a lot of changes in the casting, um, especially Rachel's character in the first two films, which is it was Katie Holmes in the first film, and then Maggie Gyllenhaal in the second film. I really didn't like that change, but besides that, those first two films were well done. Besides a little of those minor criticisms, um, and of course Heath Ledger just did. I can't praise him enough, but he did an awesome job as the Joker. Now, when we get into the Darkest Knight Rises, and kind of the Dark Knight, there was of course Aaron Eckhart. I believe he played Two-Face, or Harvey Dent. Sorry, he was awesome in that role as well. And in the third film, there's a lot of ties to the second film as well, slightly, but not as much as the first film. I think just the tone of the first film just was more prevalent in the third film. Um, um, I just feel that fresh in my mind, and of course, Anne Hathaway as the Catwoman. I was a little reserved about her being in that role, but she did play a very good Catwoman. Wasn't disappointed at all. I think the worst Catwoman so far was, of course, Halle Berry, and just she didn't play She didn't play her as well as Michelle Pfeiffer or Anne Hathaway. I personally think, and she did a very sassy, very just very film fatale type of character, and she played it very confidently. So really like that about her. Vane, the guy that played Vane, I don't know who it was. I know they had some voice issues with dubbing for the Vane character, but he did an awesome job too. Who else? Oh, Josh Gordon-Levitt. I didn't know he was in this film. Then when I saw it, I was like, "Oh man, this guy is awesome. He's a really good actor." Loved when he was on that show. I forget the name right now, but you could. I was a huge fan of that show, and I just can't. It just escapes me for right now. But people know G.I. Joe. I did see that a couple years back, and that. He did a really good role in that one as well. So I really like his acting. He's one of the better young actors nowadays. And there's just across the board, it's probably one of the best casting films trilogies I've ever seen. And I enjoy all of them equally. It's very hard to, not equally. I would say not equally, but just they're still, all of them are still in the same realm. When I see them, they don't differ from each other's quality from each film. So not drastically, if anything. It's like The Godfather, The Matrix, those trilogies. what other trilogy can I I can remember? The Lord of the Rings trilogy, stuff like that. When you see trilogies and you just, it's very hard to like each film, you know, separate from each other, and just enjoy them as they are. But I believe in this trilogy, this is going to be the first time I've ever said this. This trilogy, I can enjoy each film on its own, and it's not gonna. I'm not gonna be wanting to see the other films because I didn't, I didn't get a certain feeling for each film. Each film had its own tone, and it had its tone well done. But that's about it. I don't want to spoil anything. I don't want to. There was this great acting across the board for the Dark Knight Rises. That was my mistake. I do want to say, go out there and watch it. I do want to watch the new Spider-Man, so I might try to watch that and see how I'd like that, because I heard good things. And there was an interesting trailer, the Superman trailer. That was expected. I think they're building up to the Justice League, if that's what they're trying to. These companies, studio companies, are trying to do, build up to, because the Avengers was so successful, and all these other comic book films. And I do accept that they are making another Superman. Maybe I said Spider-Man earlier. I'm sorry. So I'll see you guys later. Hope you enjoyed this review. It wasn't in depth because I really didn't want to spoil anything, and I might start doing reviews on films that I have in my personal collection, like if I see them again and I just want to talk about them. So I'll see you guys later.